Hello, and glad to have you here today. I'm going to say excuse me for my voice just in case it goes out, but it's all cool. It's all good. So today we're going to talk about, are you tired of just feeling like your day is running you instead of you being able to take care of your day and the things that you've set out to do for that day? Do you feel like sometimes you're just stuck and can't move? And so you might just stop on your list where you are of the things that you have to do for the day in your business, in your home, and you're just like, I don't understand why. I'm having some trouble here. I'm feeling, like I can't do this. And so, and I used to feel like that. And I still, have those times where I'm stuck and I'm like, what is going on? Why can't I get this done? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Talk about some things that might help and to also let you know what it is that's actually happening. And I used to think it was because I was like super lazy and knew I wasn't, because that just wasn't my personality. It wasn't me. I was always busy doing things that needed to be done, taking care of my brothers and sisters, to things when I got older, doing, those things that people were sitting around waiting to do. I would just get up and do it. I always do the hard things first, that kind of stuff. So, that just, you know, uh, somebody said, You're not lazy. It's not that. You just have some issues, that you need to check into and see what's going on. So before I go any further, because I will just start talking and keep going, I want to welcome you and make sure that you can, know that you can put your questions, your comments, your opinions in the chat box. You can also, and it would be great if you did this, if you would be interactive with me and let me know what you feel about that. Is that happening to you? Are you doing certain things instead of what you have on your list to do? You see that and then you go and do something totally different. I mean, I've heard of people doing their laundry and doing their dishes and stuff and that kind of stuff. But anyway, instead of what they were supposed to, what they had planned out, to do. So, just let me know what you think, as well as let me know where you're coming in from, because that's always interesting, because there are people globally, on line and looking and hearing and listening and learning. So let me move on and introduce myself to those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And they do that in a variety of ways. I use attraction marketing philosophy and attraction marketing, period. I use lead generation as well as video marketing. And I love to help people with those things. And, people do have success. People do, get what it is that they came for and get unstuck and get their businesses rolling and that kind of thing. I also use updated and modern trending strategies and tips. So that's what I do. And I would like to offer today free training, and it's an eye-opening training that I took when I first started here in this company, which is an education mentorship company. And I learned about, what being an entrepreneur was, and being a business builder, and how there was a different way other than the way that I was building. So I really liked that because I didn't like the way that I was building. I didn't like the list of 100, the chasing my family and friends. It was just a struggle for me. And then leaving my kids at home when they were younger to go to meetings and home parties and that kind of stuff. I just, didn't have time to do that. And I'm a single parent. So, I mean, and if I couldn't get someone to come keep them, then I would, say, Mommy will be gone for a little while and then I'll be right back. That kind of thing would, it still, still bothers me that I had to do that, but things are better, things are different. So, let's talk about what's happening and what it's called when you don't feel like you can move forward and you feel like you're stuck, and when you're having a time of getting things done that you have on your list to do. For me, my daily method of operation, I had to cut it back. And that's what I use to make sure that I get everything done that I need to get done on a particular day. And some days have priorities that need to be done that day and my non negotiables, and there are some things that don't. But what I mainly want to do is tell you what's happening, and so that you're aware of this. And what it is procrastination. And when I looked up procrastination, and I've talked about this before, but I wanted to refresh my memory and make sure that I was delivering the updated information that's out there. And procrastination is when you postpone or you put off what it is that you have on your list to do. You know it needs to be done, that day, or at the least maybe the next day, but you just get stuck and you don't do it. And you go do other things in place of that. Like I said, some people were talking about, when we've had discussions, they've said that, yeah, they would go do the laundry because they really just didn't feel comfortable doing whatever it was that they were doing. And getting used to being uncomfortable and knowing that it's okay was, it was a stretch for me, but I did it, and I still am working on it. I'm nobody's perfect. It takes time, especially if you've been doing certain things, for a long, long time. Then, you can't beat yourself up and say, "Oh, I can't get this done. I keep trying, I keep using the methods, but it's not work." Give yourself time, because you didn't get like this in a day. So it's not going to get better in a day. But there are things that you can start doing to help them get better. Because, like I said, I thought I was lazy, and that was one of the things that I was rechecking and looking in my research, and it said the person who wrote the one particular article said that he knew several people. They were not lazy. He knew them, and they were, um, they were good people, good, workers, good, about getting things done. But, with there's so much new technology and all this stuff coming out, and we're all online now, and people were not expecting to be online, and so they're like, and that's just the way it is. And so when we can recognize that and be aware of it, then we can help ourselves. So let me look at my list here. So what I have is, sometimes we set goals that we want to reach, but we haven't made sure that they're realistic. We haven't made sure that there's something that is measurable, and something that, we can put a time frame on of when we want to get it done by. And if we do that, something like me, I had a tendency to set these goals and then set out my plan, but it was just too much, so I was like caking it on, and then all that was doing was giving me anxiety and stress, and maybe even a little fear, and as well as feeling more uncomfortable because I'm like, this is new to me. I'm a registered nurse, so I had no business or marketing background, and I'm glad to say that I have learned a lot and continue to learn in this company, that there's so many different people at so many different levels, and so many people being successful. And it's just, it makes me feel good to be here, to continue to learn, but to also be able to, all the stuff that I learned when I first started several years ago, I can now reach back and help someone else, and give them some knowledge, or give them the knowledge that I have, and share that with them, not being dogmatic about anything, but just giving them another way of looking at it. And we help each other out in our communities. It's just really awesome. So I found out, like I said, that I needed to one of the words that I've learned, or one of the little catch phrases that I've learned to use, is to thin slice things. If I have something and it's too thick and it's too big to accomplish, then, and I have it like as one thing and I want to get it done that one day. When I was building my website, it was huge. And let me look at the time. It was like, it just, but I'm one of those people that I usually do the hard things first. But for some reason, I remember my first building my first website, and how ugh, I just, but I did it. I kept working at it until I got it done. But it was stressful, and it was uncomfortable. And I had to remember that being uncomfortable when you're learning something new is okay, because your brain has to make room for that, and make inroads, so that you have that knowledge there. And then once you have that knowledge there, then you can build on it. But in the beginning, it's something that's unknown to you, and you're going, or for me, I'm going, oh, do what? So, but I was able to do it. So you can do it. And the other thing that I found, that I was overwhelmed and I didn't realize it. And that's the other thing. Uh, so just know that you can break things down. If your lists for your daily method of operations, for your business, your home, your plan, if your plan is, got, like one day you plan to get like this much done, and you've got like over 20 things on that list, that would be a little overwhelming. And I learned that I had to take some stuff off my list, and spread it out better during the week, and still accomplish the goals that I want to accomplish, but to be more realistic about those goals, and giving myself time, and time blocking, and planning, and that kind of thing. So, and the time blocking was something new to me. So, but I found that with certain things, you need to give yourself, however it would be for you. But for me, I needed to give myself like a couple hours, or I need to give myself an hour, you know, and then allow myself to walk away from that and move on to the next task, because there's only so much I could get done within that time. And the time is there to help you to keep from becoming overwhelmed and feeling like you just can't do it. And because no matter how you keep trying this one particular thing, it just won't work. So then you back off from it. And I found that coming back to something with new eyes, like you haven't, seen it for, a few hours, And then when you come back, there are things there that you didn't see before, but they were there. But now you can see them because you're not overwhelmed. You're not stuck. You're not stressed anymore about it. You're not feeling that fear. You may be uncomfortable, but you know that that part is okay because when we're learning something new, that's what it is. So I know that I have a history of being a procrastinator as well as a history of being a perfectionist. And so trying to get those, slap those out of the way and open myself up to learning and growing and knowing being uncomfortable is okay. Then I find that because I was, I don't remember being a procrastinator like when I was younger, but as I got older and became more perfectionistic and wanting to get these things, certain things done, but not having the know-how and needing to learn and ask for help and do my research. And Google is something that I use a lot, and I would just help myself in that way. Let me look at the time. Okay, so I didn't ask any questions, so let me ask now. I didn't see anything come in the chat about what you thought about putting things off, feeling overwhelmed, just not doing it and going and doing something else that you could do later or the next day. But it's simpler and easier to do that than to do this thing that you have over here. And that's I hope that that helps. But do you understand what I'm saying? You're not lazy. You're not you're not a person who just can't do anything. Don't let yourself be stuck by fear because you're feeling uncomfortable. You know, just know that you can do what you can do and give yourself some grace. We all have to start somewhere. And starting with learning something that you don't know anything about, like for me, business and marketing, it was really uncomfortable. But the people that are mentors and our leaders were very forthcoming with it's okay to be uncomfortable because you're learning something totally new, something that your brain hasn't, seen or heard or thought about. And so now you allow it time to like I said, to grow. So let me okay, looking at the time. So basically that is what I had for today. The free training that I have, that I will put the information on the video when it's downloaded in the comment section. That is what first got me once I found this company, and there was something that said, are you tired of bugging your family and friends chasing strangers and one other thing? But they had me at, are you tired of bugging your family and friends? Because my warm market was gone in a week or so after I first started this, you know, uh, business building, which is what we'll call it because Facebook doesn't like the other name. And there's negative connotations to it. But I know I really love being a business builder. And I like to be able to help others to be able to come online and do the things that they want to do in their business and grow it and be happy and do, just be able to spend time, get your time back, and that kind of thing. Okay, I'm yammering. So let me go on and get off of here, but I will have the information on the video. But it is the first thing that I saw that I did not have to turn around and go back the other way at all. When I did this eye-opening training, then I kept moving forward, and I haven't really turned around. Like I said, it's been a few years. So basically that is it. I don't see any questions or anything yet. So I'm going to go on. This is my last day to record, not record, but to do a live video and for the week. And I will be posting though, and I will be live again next week, starting Tuesday. I go live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at noon. I apologize for being late today, just having some issues with my throat and my eye. Go figure, right? That's the way it is, though. But you got to keep going. You got to show up anyway. So that's what I'm doing. I'm determined. So take care. Talk soon. Bye now.